Yo. Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel, baby. It's up, rally around the family, man. Yeah. So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about AMC, man. And Ape, both of them. Market is looking good, by the way. So we just crossed resistance here. We might trade sideways for a little bit here and may have an end of day rally here after volatility in the market decreases, which is inverse to what you get really with most of these meme stocks. Here, this is good for the market here. I know it is coming down a little bit here, but again, was expecting a little bit of sideways trading. As far as it goes for AMC, couple of things to track right now and to note. So this is how different AMC and Ape look compared to each other. This is actually AMC plus Ape up here that you're looking at. So not Ape. Pull up Ape as well and see how drastically different they all look from each other. AMC trails sideways. Ape is trailing up. And then we obviously have the mix here combined, AMC plus Ape, giving us that average here that we want. Okay, so yeah, pretty interesting stuff with what is going on right now with Ape. We are expecting a pretty nice move here going into Monday. So we saw that based on, if you guys were here on the analysis I did with Rico, and then also the cycle analysis here, we're in the blue pattern. Okay, so the blue pattern is going to show us put all these here, make them nice and tight. Let's see here. R right there, cycle. This is the 5-minute too, man. I should have gone. Let's go on the 30-minute. It's gonna look a little different. All right. On the section here. Yeah, we're in space now, man. We're in space. Okay. Again, we're gonna make this puzzle here together. All right, so right now we do have the identical cycle playing out. So the way we display this is we're going to do blue if it's identical and red if it's not. Okay, so red coming here from, I'll do it from here. Let's give it a little average here. Okay, inverse. Okay, we're building this together. This right here that you're looking at is the inverse. It's identical version of AMC. You can clearly see at this part, this is why we had the macro POI play out inverse. I'm going to turn it red here because that's what it was. I don't want to confuse anybody. It's showing you. And then this that we're playing out right now is the arc right here of AMC going into the blue pattern. Now, what does the blue pattern suggest? And based on this tracking here that we have, it does expect, and it is looking good for some upside here going into next week. So this is where you get the volatility zones coming in. So we're gonna take a look at that here real quick, and then also talk about what we mentioned yesterday, what Rico had mentioned yesterday too, and go from there. So a couple of things to get out the way. Number one is, well, looking at the option chain. The option chain is very important. We do have most contracts here expiring for the non-standard contracts. So let's pull this up here. Non-standard. So AMC 1. These expire today, and these will not be... These are hard to get, by the way. I think the only place that you can get them right now, I think Professor had said, is if you have Fidelity, is the only place you can actually buy these. So these non-standard contracts expire today, and the next date that we have will be December. December, I believe 16th, right? They expire. The next one. I could be wrong. I'm going to double check. Yep, December 16th are the next AMC 1 contracts expiry. All right, so with this, important to note, again, we're going to pull this all the way back here to December. One thing that I do a lot here is I don't only look at the 62-day cycle. We pull up the quad witching cycle, which goes and is very similar to the 4-month cycle here, okay, on AMC, which uses the parallel channel, the support level, and the volatility zone on all of them, okay? So let's pull up the quad witching here. It's that. So the very similar approach here that both me and Rico take here on. So cycle analysis, something that happens is very cyclical, happens on the green and blue portion, and then lining up with these, what are these dates, right, that are cyclical in the end, guys. Expiration dates, cyclical, option chain, cyclical. So quad witching, here we go. Quad witching curve. And what we have tracking here, I'm going to give you the ones that also happened prior to the November run here. So all these, there's obviously a curve going on here before we reach highs. And then this is the thing to see here is that we did on the previous run here, on the previous quad witching run, we did cross that previous level here, which was good. This was the first bullish sign we needed to start curling back up. And you're starting to see that here on the blue pattern. Things are starting to come back up. So if we apply this to quad witching here, specifically to see to the next expiration, the next major expiration here, and these are only on AMC 1 contracts, right? Because these, let's see here, December 16th will be the next quad witching date here. And the curve line here, again, is taking the highs of all of these levels here on expiration, right? And it's giving us the trend here, the curve line, the projection, where it would go, right? I can't manipulate this in a way where this comes down unless I really wanted to extend things here. This is the bullish case here. The bearish case would be that this starts curling back down, okay, and we remain and we still do a curve like this, kind of like what happened back here, right? You can see that here for a little bit. It's curled back down, and then it started to come back up again, right? So very briefly, but even here, actually, we wouldn't be able to say the same thing because here it was lower, here it was higher. It happened very fast. So it did it once, it got close, and then it got shorted again. So if this was to play out again, this would be what the next quad witching date would look like, which still calls for upside, right? It still calls for upside, and that's just a bearish case. But where we're at now, if we did want to come up here to this range on the quad witching curve, then AMC would have to, it would really have to push back up here and come very close. This is actually calling for the $20 level by December 16th if we just respect this quad witching curve, right? This is just calling for upside, but it's not saying that we're going to just go to that $20 level or that we're going to come back down and hit that level again. So basically the way this can go down is if we start climbing back up here and we do something like this, we could come back down here by December 16th to that $20 level. So anything can happen in between here as long as the curve here trails up and we gravitate back to that $20 level. This would be valid in the end. So these are the next AMC 1 contracts that expire on December 16th, which is important to note because we know that there is a pretty large gap here after these October 21st contracts, and that AMC or APE is going up right now. It's going up pretty drastically too. It's been, I think, from the bottom is up almost 80%. That's pretty big stuff, guys. Pretty big stuff. Okay, let's see here. Let's take a look at AME here. Intraday. Let's go 5-minute. Nope, 15-minute. I'm going to do something else too, man. I'm going to take the same curve, but I'm going to apply it to the AMC plus APE chart, because I think we're going to get something different. All right, and I'm just lining this up, trying to line it up to the highs here so that it looks the same. Okay, and it's just on the highs for the quad witching on expiration here. So you definitely want to see a curve. Yeah, it looks very similar to me. So we can take the other one out. Very little time on that one. So this is what you get for that curve. Still a very similar curve on the AMC plus APE chart, except this one is going to call for a higher price by that date. This is looking at the option chain for the AMC 1 contracts here for the hedging that happens. And you can see here that if it's projecting that range, let's see it. Let's take a look at those contracts real quick. So actually the highest contracts available right now for December 16th are the $41 calls. So a move back up there, it's really crazy, dude. What? Back up here, $28, $40 contracts are the highest available. And if we take a look at the fractal that we did yesterday, which was Ethereum here, you can see on the projection here, I think I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the other one here. Yeah, this one. From the high. Okay, and ratio levels, guys, are, I'm just taking the previous high here in January and then lining it up with the peak here, and that's going to give us the best projection here on AMC for so high and high. Okay, and then here you could see that there is that POI that we're expecting here going into November. So a larger push up, but this does not. So remember, this is just looking at AMC plus APE's chart. This is not not considering what the possibilities are with APE. What Rico had talked about yesterday, which there is a really strong correlation with everything we looked at. The levels, all the indicators that we applied are very similar to what happened to AMC before the run in January. Line up very nicely with APE. And right now we're still seeing more upside on APE, so it just keeps confirming those possibilities even more. I will say right now we are doing the AMC arc pattern on APE. So one thing to kind of look at here, and I was looking at the bars pattern that we were tracking. You can see it's this one right here. And it is very similar. I mean, look at the levels, dude. The levels are being hit almost to a T here, and you can see that at the current range that we're tracking, Okay, we still haven't had a dip here on Ape. So what could happen going into next week? Again, we are expecting the blue. We're currently in the blue pattern on AMC, which expects upside here. And currently, it seems like here for us to start getting that upside on Ape with this fractal here as it lines up, we would start to see some upside going into the end of the month. And this is just using AMC's fractal, guys. So it could happen a lot earlier. It can happen right at this range that it's tracking too. But yeah, Rico had pulled up some fib levels that were hitting very nicely. And I said, you know what, dude, like if this is going to go down, man, you know, the first thing that needs to happen, man, is we definitely have to come up to that $4 level and stay there. I think that's going to be confirmation number one. Also, I had talked about the market, what the market needs to do and what crypto needs to do. And two things that need to happen here is for the correlation to really affect and be positive here for AMC. I personally would like to see the market continue this rally going into Monday, and I want to see crypto, especially Ethereum Classic, if the correlation is still intact and things are still tracking, I would like to see it gap up here during the weekend. I did mention on the Discord earlier that a possible spring is coming for Bitcoin, for the market, crypto market. And what this is going to do, because crypto is in a very, very sticky spot here. Vulnerable spot is what it is. Show you guys here. One of the indicators I use is called spots. I made this indicator specifically to track very important levels. I use it on different time frames here for depending if I'm looking at crypto or if I'm looking at stocks. But crypto, I use the 3-day for this. It's really, really good. So on a blue cross, would expect a nice little rally here, and the blue curve is going to act as support. And on a red cross, you can expect a pretty massive dump here, followed by a nice resistance curve line. And you can see right now we're hovering over that resistance curve line here on the 3-day, which is a very powerful time frame on crypto. Here you can see very briefly we crossed, and then we respected that curve line here before hitting all-time highs on crypto. So I think what we're expecting here next on crypto is something very similar to what happened back here. Okay? And this, so this is actually crazy, dude. Watch this. Watch this, bro. So you guys know how I'm comparing both fractals here on Ethereum. Watch this. It's another one. Okay, so you guys see this right here. This right here is the same spring that we got back here. So it's the same time, March of 2020. Okay, so I'm taking this entire fractal and I'm showing you, this is Bitcoin, but Ethereum looks very similar. So pull up Ethereum, you're gonna have a very similar chart. You see? So again, I don't want to confuse anybody, but this is what the fractal is showing. This is what I'm comparing on top of AMC for you. Right here, this, March of 2020, COVID, back here is the POI that we're talking about. And we're right at this point. Like AMC seems to be ahead in this sequence going up to this range. So what might happen here is that, well, two things can happen. We don't even have to do this fake out spring. What could happen here is that crypto just starts going up and we get that blue cross here and we start to at least trail up to the upside here. So have a nice rally on crypto. And, you know, before what we have seen is we've seen crypto go up first and then AMC. But again, cycles will, you know, when they take turns over time, one will sort of catch up to it, if not go faster on the next cycle here. And that could definitely happen here with AMC if we start to see some upside first. But so we're going to see here over the weekend what happens, man, because we're very close here. We're just pinching this resistance curve line here. As soon as it crosses it, it's very likely this is going to get a nice push up. Okay, you've seen it happen back here, right here, very briefly before faking it out, which is still a rally, guys. It's a 3-day. It's a pretty nice push up, and then right here as well, just riding it over before pushing up again. Okay, so yes, what I want to see is I want to see a rally on Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic. I think that's going to confirm some things here for Amy. Let's take a look back here and see what it looked like. You know what? Now I didn't have time to really look at this, but let's take a look at Ethereum Classic compared to AMC's chart here, man. So we're gonna take it from this high here and go all the way up here. Since we do have very similar levels on Ethereum compared to, or Ethereum Classic compared to Ethereum, we have better levels on Ethereum Classic, obviously. So we're going to take it from the high as well. You can see these look a little different, but overall they're following. I think Ethereum in this case actually looks a lot better. Yeah, they didn't peak at the same time. Ethereum went first, and then Ethereum Classic followed. On this one. And then I'm also going to pull up ARPA, because ARPA was one that we talked about. That was an extreme bear case on Ethereum, and I pulled this up the other day, guys. But look, this is a 12-hour chart here. 3-day looks crazy. This is ARPA. It's crypto, and look at this setup, man. Like, it's just a rising, ascending wedge here, broadening wedge to the upside here. We're just hitting. We come back down, we test this level, and then we bounce again. If this were to play out this way, man, this would be a massive squeeze here on this stock. We're starting to see that volume kick in here. This is the same stock. This is the same crypto that I used for tracking AMC's entire sequence, except I used it on the premium chart. AMC ARPA Premium Index is what I used. Here it is. I flipped it. Shows those levels here. And this is a chart that I got that kind of freaked some people out because of how accurate it was. But I told everybody, like, you know, this right here, where there's very little going on, that typically is an indicator that the cycle is done. It's over. And there's a new cycle starting. So this wouldn't really quite apply to AMC in the same way, except up until a certain point it will. And this is where we have the next POI happening, but look how accurate this chart is, at least compared to Ethereum. Even though it is hitting those levels, this chart is way more accurate way more accurate in how fucking, yeah, dude, how it lines up. So you can see here, based on this pattern right here, that we are coming up to this POI, this short-term POI that lines up with the blue pattern. So this is why I've been saying this, man, since last week, that I'm still expecting us to come up at least to test that, well, here AMC plus APE, worst case scenario, would come up and test that 13, if not 14, $15 range. It's a larger range, but this would be a worst case scenario if we did follow the ARPA sequence. The best case scenario would be just like I talked about with Rico yesterday, that we do follow the Ethereum fractal, which is also very similar and calls for the actual run-up. So Wyckoff terms, this would be a cup and handle. This would be a massive cup right here, and then a continuation back up. So both are really on the table. They both point the shorter term volatility zone on the cycle here both lines up with ARPA's pattern and also Ethereum's pattern. So they're both on the table for this. Definitely both on the table. Ukus Lily. I'm on the Discord here. Wants me to check out GT. Okay, let's do it on this one. Is it GTII? Let's go back up. Curious, does this stock have an option chain? No, it doesn't. Oh yeah, this I mean, and I've heard about this stock here before. It definitely has potential to run because it does not have an option chain. I'm gonna say this right now, but I bet you guys if this thing runs, okay, if this thing runs past, you know, that $15 range, I bet you they would add an option chain to it and then short it back down. So I'm gonna say this right here. It's a very bold statement, but if this thing were to run up here and they open up an option chain and then they start shorting it back down, I would not be surprised. We've seen this happen with CEI. We've seen it happen with SOS. We saw it happen with Redbox. Dude, this is so fishy to me. But it looks good. I mean, it just completely came back. I'm on the 2-hour here. We just got a blue cross on the 2-hour for the spots indicator. Yeah, this is a V reversal right here. It's a powerful move back up. And typically, if you don't come back down immediately on this stock, that is an indicator that this will start pushing back up again. Let's see. Okay, you're also showing a fractal that you're looking at way back here. When you come back down. Oh, you're looking at this right here? This? I could see that. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good little fractal here. Let's see. Let's pull it up. It could be the case, man. Could be the case. We'll see, man. Whenever these guys add an option chain, yeah, I could see something like this too. If it does start coming down, because we are currently at resistance again. But a cross here, a full cross at resistance, and this thing will go parabolic. This is normally what you get here on crypto a lot too. With some of these, there's leverage on crypto too, which is very similar to options in the crypto market. You know, futures in the crypto market, very similar to options. There's really no expiration date you have to worry about, but you do have to worry about increase so percentages here are your enemy. Anything that goes above, I think the range is typically between 50 or 100 leverage and back down to 5. You can do any leverage, really. It depends on the broker you have, but the majority of institutions controlling and manipulating crypto are going to really fight that 2 to 4% on volatile stocks or cryptos, because most people will 50x, when they jump in on leverage. That's just, it's like options, guys. The meme stocks, most people are going to buy the out of the money, the furthest out of the money contracts. You guys saw that with the 145s. Very expensive premium, and then they bring it back down, right? So, but right here, you're seeing that we're either going to come back down and test this one more time and fall through and then get shorted back down again, or we're going to cross this and start coming back up again. Actually, the market just did this exact setup here. The SPY. Watch. We just got the exact same setup here on the market. See that? So it comes back up. It's a fake out. Right here is where we're at. And then you see that continuation back up. Same thing. Let's take this pattern. Right there. Okay, so you see how right here, very fast, it just breaks out and then it keeps going. This is why I think, man, the market might continue this this rally back up, and we might have a gap up on Monday. And if we do, expect a major rally on the market, and then that would be extremely good for the rest of these mid-cap stocks, AMC, GameStop, that were trailing back down. It's their turn to go next, right? As soon as this market starts to rally and gets closer to its peak before it rests and comes back up again, this is where you're going to see all the meme stocks start to rally one by one. Starting to see it, man, with Mullen. Okay. Let's see. Ape. Look at that. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Ape is looking pretty good. Ape is looking like it wants to keep going now. Okay, 5 minute. Got a blue cross. Blue circle spot. Yes, you will. Yeah, once we start to rally, man, if we start to rally on AMC and Ape combined, we're definitely going to play some ABBA in here. And rally it up with some disco. You guys already know. Let's take a look at GME. Yo, 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 yo. Let's come back here on the main stream. Get to it so we can see everything more clear. All right, so I was able to finally work on, and dude, I didn't even know this, but you can add indicator strategies to indicators. So we're going to do SMA here. I want to be able to mess around with this. And the thing is, it's very particular. You can't do it on every indicator. So you can do it on most, but not on any. So here's an SMA applied to AMC plus Ape. We're going to mess around with it a little bit. So we're going to do... All right, you can't even mess around with this one? What? Let's see. Can we add an EMA cross? All right, we can add an EMA cross, which is good. We already know how this works, guys. We do, there's a lot you can really play around with here. Obviously, the most famous one everybody talks about and sort of gatekeeps, right? It's going to be the 1348. Let's see if this works. No. Just mess around with 1 and 2. Now, how is this different, I guess, from just AMC's chart? Let's add it again. So, see how they're different? Like, AMT plus Ape is up here, and then the one down here is going to be... We're going to do the same one. I just want to see the difference between both. Also, if you want this indicator, just make sure to click the link below. It'll take you straight there. It's on the website. On Trading View, trading with emotions. If you want the other indicators, you do have to go on the Discord link, so make sure you click on that and be on that good old premium membership here. I do provide all that good stuff. All right, high and low divided by 2 is what I use. Make sure it's on this one too. No, what? I take it out? All right, took it out. Dude, look at how different this is, man. Yep, it's on close. And this one, do it on close too. All right, so AMC plus Ape. Look at how different the crosses are compared to each other. They're very different. Let me go on the daily chart here. Yeah, they're very different, man. Holy shit. Okay, so look, this is the 4-hour chart. And on AMC plus Ape, you're starting to see it getting very close, but AMC is actually about to just cross that. Just AMC. I'm sure Ape already crossed it. While you're getting this sort of average down here, is both of them combined. It looks like Ape is starting to push back up, though. Okay, enough of this, man. We're going to take these out. Got an hour left here on the market. There is some volatility I'm expecting here towards the end of the day. On the market, the SPY. Oof. AMC curling back up. Yeah, this is going to be, like, pretty interesting, guys, next week. Okay. Look at this, man. It's going to tell us a lot. That's why I keep saying it's interesting. It will be interesting because we're starting to curl back up here on the blue pattern. You can see the blue pattern calls for upside here towards the end of the day. And it does peak here at, yeah, really towards the end of the day here is when we start to see most of that volume coming in here in preparation for next week. You still see more upside. And then now the thing about the blue pattern is the volatility zone found on the blue pattern is right here, right in the middle. This is why it's important that with the fractal I pulled up on Ape 2, that we see that here because that is when we're expected to really move up. So it's this week was expected to trade sideways going into the end of the week. possible upside here, but really just consolidating for this range here, which is right around the 26th and the 27th. Between these two dates is when I would see some of that volatility kicking in here. Some of that volume coming in, man, finally, on AMC. Okay, I'm gonna look at the SPY again real quick. All right, so earlier today, I had talked about how we were gonna get IV crushed here on, well, really anybody who jumped in here on contracts would just be trailing on this 372, 373 range for the SPY and just remain sideways. Now the thing here is, well, since the SPY is just had a complete fake out here and a rally continuation. Not always, but a lot of the times what you do see here is, well, they're going to trap any bulls that are getting in here and shorts because they think the price is oversold or overbought, and it's an opportunity to jump in. And yeah, sure, that could be the case if you're, scalping in very quickly in and out. But again, the volatility zone that I expect here would be towards the end of the day. So right around probably the last 20 minutes of the market, we might see just a complete rally here on the SPY. Okay, that takes us up to that. We can keep pushing, man, and go to that 360, 376, 377 if we have the fuel here, and they're just conserving that energy here. Okay, it can go both ways, but once the market does rally and keeps going, and it does not cross below certain levels of support, it typically does continue. And right now, not only did we cross this level of resistance here, okay, but now we're crossing this one. Oh, or we want to. We're about to. This is going to be our test here. If we cross this, man, I would be expecting a gap up on Monday. If we cross this here today, and if we do, 376, 377, possible, getting really close to this level here on the SPY is definitely possible. We've seen it happen before, guys. These end of day rallies here, especially on expiration dates like this, October 21st, important. So we'll see what goes down, man. But I'm gonna be looking at some stuff here soon. But yeah, that's mainly what we actually focus on here on the Discord. I don't trade. For scalps, very rarely will I trade a list of stocks unless there's volatility. The majority of stocks that I scalp are really indices is what I focus on here. But SPY is gonna be probably 80% of the scalps. And trades that are sent that I look at, which is obviously never financial advice. It's just my perspective of the markets and what I look at, what my plays are, and stuff like that. That's what it is, man. But yeah, I'm gonna be going back into that right now here shortly because again, I was expecting a little bit of sideways pressure here for a little bit before jumping back in. I'm gonna be looking at that right now for the next 50 minutes here. If you guys want to join us up here and chill on the Discord, anybody can sign up. It's free. You can click the link below and head on over so we can chat it up in there. All right. So I will see you guys next week. I'll probably post a video over the weekend to go over AMC, and hopefully everything here trails according to plan, following the blue pattern. And same with Ape. Everything is looking pretty good to me. No sign of weakness, right? As they say, the quiet confidence. No sign of weakness here. All right, guys. You guys all take care, man. We'll see you later here. Peace out. Bye-bye.